Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be explaining to you the poem Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda, and the topics that I will be covering are the introduction of the poem, the summary of the poem, and the theme of the poem. So let's begin with the introduction. This poem of Pablo Neruda, Keeping Quiet, is a call for introspection for all human beings who have divided themselves on the basis of race, language, and nationalities. The poem is presented in the form of an exercise for meditation in silence. In these moments of silence, one can break the shackles of hatred, violence, and anger and create an exotic moment of togetherness. In such inactivity and silence, we can feel the strength of humanity. That was the introduction. Now we move on to the summary of the poem. The poet is requesting a moment of peace among the rush hours. The use of number 12 signifies 12 digits of the clock, 12 months of the calendar, or 12 working hours of the day. If we do not speak any language, then we cannot distinguish anybody on the basis of their caste, color, or boundary. The poet again pleads to stop, where he means to pause for a moment in terms of war, weapons, and rivalry. The poet describes the moment of silence as an unexperienced and unfamiliar one, where all the hustle and rush of the engines will be put on hold. At this moment, we can feel the togetherness of understanding among strangers and a strange sudden relationship to which humanity binds itself. Pablo Neruda supports and exemplifies his thoughts by the experience of fishermen and salt gatherers. Moment of silence help these people realize where they hurt others and where they have been hurt. These two examples of rush moment have made it clear that we need time to think about our actions before running for them. Like the fisherman should not risk his life into the deep sea, where he can also capture the fish near the shore. Second example explains the damaged hands of the salt gatherer who never worries about his own hurt hands during his restless working hours. Now the poet inclines the satire on the politicians and planners who with their own selfish motive lead to environmental wars. Ironically, these people come out with no blames, completely protected, and are non-creative for the human race. Planned war leave behind a lot of destruction with no achievers. Had these people made stable decisions with their thinking and rethinking, this devastation could have been avoided. People who are all time preparing for wars, leaving behind no survivors, ought to find time to wear clothes and move around with their brothers, spreading the message of brotherhood and love. The poet clarifies the confusion that the request of silence should not be misunderstood or mistaken as the moment of inactivity. He empathizes the liveliness of life, but at the same time he does not want a truck of death. It implies that the poet wants creativity for the sake of humanity rather than passiveness of action. Once again, a huge moment of introspection, understanding, and optimistic activity can wipe out the prevailing situation or prevailing silence of negative approach and misunderstandings. Pablo Neruda, in his finest lines of the poetry, portrays that Earth is the best example of patience and optimism, which teaches us that there can be life under apparent stillness. Happiness lies in understanding ourselves rather than misunderstanding others. Once again, the poet requests the moment of silence, calmness, optimism, and understanding, but he himself seeks to go away in order to spread the message further. That was the summary. Now we move on to the theme of the poem. The poem Keeping Quiet celebrates the necessity of introspection and the advantage of doing nothing for some time in life. Silence creates an exotic moment where one forgets all the differences, the war comes at a standstill, and the feeling of brotherhood prevails. Thank you. That was it for today's video. If you liked it, then hit the like button and the subscribe button. I'll see you next time with another video. Until then, take care. Bye.